Okay guys, so after we had a fight with Simeon and successfully surviving that, now it's me and Basha and Roma together and they supposed to take me home. Two boys, clearly out of breath, approached me. I was finally able to make out their faces clearly.
Мои очки.
My glasses.
Блять.
You know that word. Romka cursed under his breath.
Гандон этот стащил.
This bastard got them.
Зато мы ему всыпали одну сына.
At least we whipped his ass. Really good, eh?
Завтра вот с таким фуфелом припрется, отвечаю.
He'll come to school with a shiner this big. Lol. His laugh is like, I don't know, a hyena or something like that. From Lion King. Biasha let out a throaty laugh. Hyenas in the Lion King would envy a laugh like that. Did you see that? Oh, lol, that was legendary.
Ну и дела.
Ooh boy.
Тоха, ты без очков хоть что-то видишь?
Can I see without your glasses, Tocha?
Немного.
A little bit. Okay, I was just about to ask where's the music, but hey, here it is. A hand holding a red rectangle protruded from the mist. Romka was offering me a cigarette.
Угощайся.
My treat. So now they like accept me as one of them? Nah, I still will remember what Romka did, sorry. I squinted, trying to make out the brand, even though I didn't know anything about cigarettes. I haven't tried smoking yet, and I didn't really want to start. I wonder if they will keep hanging out with me if I won't adopt all of their habits. Dude, do you really want to hang out with them? I mean, you're not one of them, so I don't know, dude. Let's see where it goes. And I really hope he won't start smoking now. After a moment of hesitation, I shook my head.
Спортсмен, что ли?
Into sports, huh?
А ты в глаза долбишься?
Are you blind or something?
Не видел, как он Семёна четко вмазал?
Did you see how he trashed Simeon?
Да базара ноль, Mortal Kombat на.
Real deal. Freaking Mortal Kombat.
Тоха у нас Рокки Бальбоа.
Tocha here is Rocky Balboa.
Когда уж Иван Драго.
More like Ivan Drago.
Курим одну на двоих, гони жигу.
We'll split this one. Give me a light. Romka pulled out a cigarette with his lips and Biasha scrambled to find a lighter inside his pockets.
Тоха, что я сказать хотел?
So, Tocha, back to what I was saying.
Не держи зла, брат.
Don't be mad, bro.
Мы тебя на вшивость проверяли. А то очки эти, еще и маска.
We were just testing you. I mean, your glasses and this mask. Well, yeah, it seems like they're just like those kind of guys. But like, I still will remember, like, but still, I don't like what he did to Julka. That was lame. Biasha lit a giant Tbilisi and Romka smacked his lips, taking a long puff of his cigarette.
Меня, кстати, Ромка зовут.
I'm Romka, by the way. He squeezed my hand so hard that my fingers hurt. His palms, full of dry, torn blisters, implied that he wasn't wearing a tracksuit for nothing.
Это вот Бяша.
And this is Biasha.
Ты не очкуй. Со свиньей мы лично пообщаемся.
Don't worry, we'll have a talk with Porky. He let out a cloud of smoke in my face, which instantly made me cough.
Ага.
Yeah.
Пойду пока сумку соберу, а то темнеет.
I'll go gather my stuff. It's getting dark. I bowed to pick up my now empty backpack and look for its contents, hoping that my new bodies will disappear when I turned around. But they just stood there, passing a cigarette back and forth. Two small silhouettes with a small light wandering between them, with the pine trunks as the backdrop. They were waiting for me to finish picking up my textbooks while whispering something to each other. Romka was the one talking most of the time though. Biasha was just constantly sniffing with his running nose and mumbling in agreement. At that moment, I saw that old, battered bunny mask from papier-mâché among the snow-covered notebooks. Its empty eye sockets could be filled with anything, with any eyes, but this mask looked like it only wanted mine. Where did it come from and why was it in my backpack? Okay, I'm pretty sure Alisa actually put it there somehow. Like, that's the only explanation. I picked it up with utmost care, as if it could bite off my finger at any moment. It was just a carnival mask with a frozen spit on the inside. Still, something felt wrong about it. Something was written inside it, underneath the layers of old newspapers. I could hear 1,000 of tiny bodies rustle in the trembling fur. Something was trying to chew its way out. Maggots!
Готов, Тоха?
Okay, that was his imagination or hallucinations, whatever that was. You ready, Tocha? Romka's voice pulled me out of my nightmarish delusion, and I threw the mask away in horror. Somewhere I won't be able to see it anymore. My innards were twisted from disgust, but I stood up trying not to show it. Whether those maggots were real or just one of my delusions, I didn't care. All of this was too much for a single day. I wanted to get home as soon as possible.
Ладно, пацаны, мне пора уже.
Right, guys, I need to go.
До свидания.
See ya. I held out my hand toward the two silhouettes to say goodbye. A couple of dark, thin lines trembled in front of me. They stood without moving, as if studying me.
С кедрами закорешиться решил.
Lol. Yeah, he definitely needs his glasses. Hey, decided to buddy up with a Sidar?
Мы здесь вообще-то.
We're over here. I realized that Romka's voice was coming from behind and turned around embarrassed.
Деревья хреновые кенты.
Trees make for crappy bodies.
Ты не ссы. Мы тебя до дома доведем, а то ты как слепой котенок.
Relax, we'll escort you home. You're as blind as a newborn kitten.
Так здесь живем и сгниешь.
Without us, you'll end up dead around here. A cigarette butt hit against a stump with a flurry of sparks and started seizing in the snow near my feet. The boys let out a strained laugh and took me by the arms. When we were leaving the clearing, I turned around in hopes to see Alisa. Even if you think you see her, I'm pretty sure you won't actually see her with your current sight status. Or at least some orange dot. What if? But I only saw a rumbling tractor that was creeping out from the corner. Well, it's nice they're actually helping. So I guess they are not complete jerks, but still. We were going alongside a still fire road in silence. The silence felt oppressing, coupled with my lack of vision, so I
А
spoke.
почему тебя Бяша зовут?
Why do they call you Byasha?
А,
The Buryat kid just smirked in reply. Oh, okay, so makes sense why he's Asian. Buryats are actually living near Mongolia, so like they're close to Mongolians.
потому что я волк в овечьей шкуре.
Cause I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing, eh?
Брешешь.
You're lying.
Пургу гнать, это он умеет.
Screwing around is what he does best.
А звать его так, потому что блеет, как овца.
He's got his nickname because he bleats like a sheep.
Все после того, как из черного гаража живым выбрался.
It started after he returned alive from the black garage. Byasha's face contorted at those words. I could see it even through the veil of blindness. Oh, he swayed. Okay, what the hell is that? And started mumbling something unintelligible.
Видишь?
See?
С ним так всегда, как об этой херне заговоришь.
Happens every time someone brings it up.
Ты сейчас о чем?
What are you talking
Ты
about?
серьезно про эту страшилку не знаешь?
Did you really not hear about that horror story?
На черной улице,
On one pitch black street,
в черной подворотне,
in a pitch black alleyway,
стоит черный гараж.
there's a pitch black garage.
И он знает о тебе все.
It knows everything about you.
Где ты живешь? Что любишь? С кем дружишь?
Where you live, what you like, who are your friends.
Наверняка слышал о пропавших детях.
I'm sure you've heard about the missing kids.
Это тут не первый год происходит.
This has been going on for a while here.
Все местные знают, кто здесь замешан.
The local folk know who's behind all of that,
Даже взрослые.
even the adults.
Вообще, везет тебе? Ты вон в лесу, считай, живешь.
You got lucky. You live right on the edge of the
Он к
forest.
тебе так просто не сунется.
The stink won't come there without a good reason.
Тупо сечет, что среди деревьев будет выделяться.
It knows that it'll look too foreign among the trees.
А у нас эта хрень может где угодно поджидать. Иногда в конце переулка или возле дома.
While in our area, this piece of crap can hide anywhere, be it at the end of an alleyway or near your
А
house.
еще
Also,
идешь такой себе ночью, и тут раз!
you'll be just going somewhere at night and BAM! Okay, I wonder if he's actually messing with him or it's like actual legit story.
Он стоит, где совсем недавно пусто было.
You see it in some place that was empty just a while ago.
Дверь открыта, внутри мрак.
Its door open, pitch dark inside,
И тут как?
and then... Okay, he's messing with us. Or not. Basha pulled his cape over his head and started howling on a high trembling note, trying to silence Romka.
Ладно, ладно, проехали.
Fine, forget it. I was trying to process Romka's story, but I couldn't figure out what to think of it. During the short time I've been in the snow-laden village, I realized one thing. A lot of people here had some sort of experience with something they couldn't explain. I looked at Basha, who was speed-pattering to the side.
Тоха, а вот скажи, нахрена вы-то сюда переехали?
Tell me, Tocha, why the hell did you move here? I heaved a deep sigh while looking at my feet. Somewhere down below, the tips of my boots scooped up fog. I spoke words that I recited countless
У
times.
отца тут новая работа.
Dad has a new job here,
Мама в поселке раньше жила,
and my mom used to live here,
давно еще при Союзе.
back in the Soviet days.
Здесь же нечего делать, только гнить.
There's nothing to do here but rot away,
Ну или как Бяша, по лесам шастать.
or, well, like Basha here, wander around the forest. Basha fearfully showed his face from under his hood, like a snail crawling out of its shell, and listened in.
Он у нас турист.
He's a camper, see?
Летом целую неделю в палатке жил.
Spent a whole week in a tent last summer.
Здесь, рядом.
Here, nearby.
Прикинь?
Sounds cool, right?
Хотя от мамки его звезданутый я бы сам в лес сбежал.
I mean, with a crazy old woman like his, I'd also flee to the forest. We kept on going, but it felt like the forest was sliding by. Pines were the black keys, and the space between them the white ones. The ticket was playing its old creaky melody, the melody of roots, bear caves, and forgotten taiga skeets. Snowflakes flew around, creating a disturbing illusion that somebody was wandering the forest. Somebody tall, unnoticeable, ready to camouflage as a tree or a snow pile. And then, when nobody paid attention anymore, they just continued moving along the road. But it was just a trick of the light, there was no one there. At least I wanted to think that. Romka suddenly stopped and said,
Слышите?
"Hear that?
В лесу кто-то бродит походу.
Someone is snooping around the forest." The skin under my clothes started itching. My stomach started aching. We looked the way Romka was pointing.
Высоченный, причем с нашей скоростью идет.
Really tall, matching our speed. There were no tall silhouettes behind the masts of pines. Just shadows, creeping in the semi-dark. Slow shadows, fast shadows, hungry shadows. The snow that fell silently from the branch made me shiver and bite into my lip, as if something huge lifted off the tree and flew away. Maybe even toward us. Romka picked up a pine cone from the ground and threw it into the ticket.
Эй!
His shout ricocheted as if it hit a tightly spranked drum. The echo mocked Romka. Then the silence reigned again.
Кто-нибудь видел?
Did you see that? Well, Anton definitely did not. I shook my head. The only things I could see were the vertical strokes of trees, the darkness, the snow, and the hazy silhouettes of my companions. I remembered the rough textured trunks, the spongylution, and the icy bits on the bottoms of the ravines.
Пойдемте скорее, а то вечереет.
Let's move faster, the sun is setting. I was again grabbed by the elbows and dragged along toward the forest, toward the pointy spires of branches. The sun had finally sunk behind the green peaks. The darkness writhed, spread its shoulders, and started spreading like smoke. It started snowing, thick sticky flakes, white flies following the scent of dead meat. My vision had become a small island, awash by dark waters. I was grasped by the same worrying feeling I had in the morning. I felt that somewhere far away, at the edge of my comprehension, I heard a very calm and silent flute playing. The sound was fragile, like ice in March, above the dormant waters of bottomless lake. I scraped inside of my ear with my finger to get rid of that auditory hallucination. The forest was silent. I imagined a child walking at night under the watchful eyes of pines.
А вы знали Вову Матюхина?
Did you know Vova Matyukhin?
Мальчика, который пропал недавно.
The boy who went missing recently.
А разве мы не его ищем, сладкий?
Wait, what? Okay. How and when and why and what the hell is going on? Weren't we looking for him, sweetie? I shuddered and stopped, staring at the person who was guiding me. At Alisa, in her unchanging fox mask. The girl was gently holding my elbow.
Что ты здесь?
What? Why are you?
А ведь я тебя потерял.
I lost sight of you.
Потерял, потому что зазевался.
You did, because you were careless. I squinted in suspicion.
Давно ты за нами идешь?
How long were you following us?
Что значит давно? Я всегда была рядом.
What do you mean, how long? I was always by your side. Okay, where did Romka and Byasha disappear? What the hell is going on? Were they even there, or like, did she trick me to believe that I was going with them?
Ты за кем? За вами.
And who us? Stunned, I looked around but couldn't find Roma or Byasha. And then I felt her cold finger on my wrist.
Пойдем же.
Let's go.
Мы собирались искать Вову.
We were going to look for Vova. Well, not now. Anton can't see a thing without glasses. Without a chance to catch my breath, she started dragging me along through the forest. I was enveloped by the smell of tangerines, coffee, and firecrackers. I felt like I was a small kid again, being led into the unknown. I saw the dark silhouettes of trees ahead. The bushes' hedgehogs were wary, showing us their spikes. Something rectangular appeared in our way like a small box. I became petrified. I touched the edge of my eye, pulling back the eyelid as if I was trying to correct my vision. A garage made of metal rose up right from the windfall. It was big, no, huge, impossible to move without special equipment. Its walls were painted black, even blacker than the darkness around us. Did Alisa actually pretend to be Romka and told us the story? And is this thing actually real? What the hell is going on? The fox sniffed around and it seemed like her mask twisted in disgust.
Это здесь.
This is the place. The worried voice of my companion scared me even more than this horrifying metal box.
Здесь.
Here?
Я слышу его запах.
I can smell him.
Может, Вова играет с нами в прятки, и он решил спрятаться.
Maybe Vova is playing hide and seek with us, and he decided to hide Okay, it seems like she's actually afraid of what is there
Внутри.
inside, or she tries to lure us in. I felt like I saw smoke form tentacles that split off the garage, searching for something in the wilted leaves. These tentacles slithered along the snowy blanket, getting close to our feet. And there was a scary screeching sound coming from the other side of the huge black metal gates. Somebody or something definitely waited for us inside. Okay, nah, I have to knock. There's no way I can escape this. I thought that my nervous movements were similar to that of a marionette, dangling in the hands of a puppeteer. I stepped over the garage, holding my breath. Okay, something's gonna happen. And gave the sheet metal door a small knock with my knuckles. Knock knock. And then jumped back. For a moment it seemed like someone growled in pain inside the metal walls. Okay, that was Senya. I heard rusty meat hooks jingle on thick metal chains, awakening someone huge, who crawled to open the black gates. Okay, and that's Vova. Nothing happened. My heart was racing. Still nothing. Knock knock. I hesitated to turn my back to the garage, so... What the hell was that? Run! I heard a weak, scared voice resound in my head. Stumbling all over the place, I still rushed into the night that was swarming with shadows. Okay, was this the forest master? What the hell? I ran behind the crooked trunk of a pine, sure that Alisa was by my side. But after a moment had passed, I realized that the girl was nowhere to be found. The forest was mumbling its ancient chants. Squeaking, tickling, rustling. I froze. I didn't know how much time had passed before I realized that I was standing in complete darkness, in a circle of trees that were shooting up, their trunks high into the sky. Everything around me moved, trembled. My ears went numb from all the rustling. The treetops melted into the darkness of the cosmos. The bushes became empty cells, whose occupants were suddenly set free. It felt like a clawed fang could fly out of the darkness into my stunned face at any moment. I heard a scream somewhere far away.
Anton!
Okay, I should not trust that voice. Someone was looking for me, just like that boy who went missing. Tears stung my eyes. A big drop fell from my lashes.
Anton!
The scream was closer now, and for a moment I even believed that I was about to be saved.
Я здесь!
I'm here! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I really hope this is just my imagination. One of the trees moved. It wasn't Romka, nor was it Basha. An adult, tall, with long arms. Many shadows that looked like dogs snuck around behind his back, but those beasts were much larger than Jurka. The forest was dormant no longer. No longer it hid its face behind the fake masks. I stood still, like a deer pierced by the lights of an oncoming truck, and the beasts all stared at me. In the semi-dark, without my glasses, I could see very little, but it was still more than enough for me to freeze in terror. A foul smell of animal piss and wet fur enveloped the clearing, when the creepy procession with the giant at its head moved toward me. My legs gave way because of fear, and I fell to my knees into the snow. It looked like I was praying to that figure, to the trees, to the darkness. He didn't dare lift my eyes, so when he got close, showering me with his stench, for a moment I thought that his legs were covered in grey fur. I shut my eyes so tight that red circles started dancing on the inside of my eyelids. I don't want to look, but I could still hear everything. His breath was akin to sandpaper that was scratching at my ears. His voice was deep, hoarse. No, it wasn't a voice, a roar. I fished my grandma's chant out of the pool of my memory. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, ashes. I got a stench and roaring in reply. Words could never protect against claws and fangs. I was helpless. And then, I've heard a familiar sweet voice nearby. I knew it! I freaking knew it, okay? Alisa just played us for a fool. Come on, do it. Get a taste of him. No, don't do it! Something hot slid across my throat, like a meaty, sticky rope. Someone's tongue.
Я же говорила, хозяин.
I told you, master.
Это наш зайчик.
He's our bunny.
Позаботься о нем.
Please, take a good care of him. From the narrow embrasures of barely lifted eyelids, covered by my trembling fingers, I watched a horrifying silhouette tower over me. I was taking in the smell of kennels, compost pits, and moss. In front of me stood a scary horned beast, with the presence of a monarch. His posture told me of his electrifying nobleness. His horns supported the clouds and his popped-out licomas pierced my ready-to-pop eyes with thorny stare. His hands were full of gifts. Candy fell to the snow, sparkling with its fancy wrappers, silvery packs of chocolate bars, and a Chupa Chups sticking out from a snow pile with its plastic stick. For you! Candy rained at my feet. A doll fell nearby, and then it started raining toys, a spinning top, a teddy bear with a torn-up nose, red-headed Carlson without a propeller, a tin toy soldier with a flag, a firefighter truck, and a crop duster plane. So like that's a lot of kind of broken toys. The toys weren't covered in blood, but my imagination was painting them with red spots and crimson licks all on its own. The horned shadow of the beast moved over the treasures that once belonged to unknown kids. Take. Okay, I can't do it like him, so take. Hairy hands reached into surrounding darkness, took out a mangy bunny mask that was haunting me. Oh. And forcefully pulled it over my face. Bunny. The shadows of beasts around us slowly and graciously stood up on their rear legs. And then, light hit my eyes, shattering the monster's figure in two. I put up my hand to protect myself. Flashlight's ray slid down. Okay, that's father. Okay, what the hell's happened here? Like, dude, okay, this is so freaking weird and so freaking creepy. Did it really happen?
Антон! Вот ты где.
There you are!
Ты совсем сдурел?
Are you out of your mind?
Это вообще как понимать?
What's this all about? I was staring at my dad, completely stunned, into the space where the monster was just a moment ago. The clearing was enveloped in darkness again, but I could still barely make out the outlines of toys and candy in the snow. And I'm sure if I was brave enough to get close to the bushes, I'd find animal prints there.
Язык проглотил.
Cat got your tongue?
Одноклассники твои к нам пришли.
Your classmates came to us.
Сказали, ты сбежал от них в лес, в самую чащу и...
they said that you ran away from them deep into the forest and... Okay, that was definitely Romka and Biasha. So... Instead of going with them, I guess I actually was going with Alisa?
Что это за дрянь ты напялил?
What the hell are you wearing? I pulled the mask down from my sweaty face and threw it into the heap of toys. Branches cracked in the distance. I pressed myself into my father's chest, engulfed by fear, and he started looking around, alerted, and spoke in a tone of voice that was much more nervous.
Так, пойдем отсюда скорее.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Мать узнает, такой нагоняй нам устроит, мало не покажется.
If your mother learns of this, she'll be so mad at us that we'll never forget this day. I reached out for my father, still feeling the chilling embrace of fear. I grabbed his firm hand, felt his quick pulse with my fingertips. Then stood up and wobbled along behind my father, following his barely discernible footprints. Back to civilization, back to light, back to the road where my dad parked his car.
Чтобы дома ни слова, ясно?
And not a word about this at home, got it?
Ни единого намека, где я тебя нашел.
Don't even hint at where I found you.
Да, пап.
Alright, Dad. Okay, dang. What the hell just happened? He was holding my hand as if it was the most precious thing in the world and kept telling me how afraid he is to lose me or Olya. But it wasn't that sticky like an animal tongue fear. His fear was a noble, crystal clear diamond, and I just nodded in reply and kept moving my feet. And then I heard a familiar voice coming from behind me.
Помни,
Remember,
пока ты со мной, никто тебя здесь не тронет.
as long as you're with me, nobody will lay a finger on you here. Okay, I'm so confused. Is it like really did it really happen? Is it for real? Oh, dang. The car sped toward our house. Okay. The garage. I pressed my cheek against the window and saw a short building among the trees. A shack darker than night. The garage that was hidden inside the ticket. A crypt made of metal. It almost felt like it was following us. A moment passed and the building disappeared around the corner. I gulped down my dolor. Whew, damn. Okay, I was not expecting this at all. Okay, that looks nice. Well done. And the white snowflakes just kept dancing in the starry sky. Finally home. Look what the cat dragged in. Mom was going down the stairs, piercing Dad with her trademark glare. Her face showed something between wrath and condescension. Suddenly, her gaze shifted to me and stayed for a dangerously long time.
Так, я не поняла. Антон, а где очки? Потерял?
Hey, what's this? Where are your glasses, Anton? Did you lose them?
Да в школе поди забыл, простофиля.
This dummy probably just forgot them at school. A venomous pause followed.
Весь в тебя.
He's your son, alright. Dad glared at Mom and then mischievously winked at me, reminding me of our deal.
Ну ничего, есть же запасные. Проживем как-нибудь.
Well, we have spare glasses, so we'll manage somehow. My parents stood in silence a bit longer and then both of them went to mind their own business. Olya threw herself into my arms before I could even take off my coat.
А я лису увидела!
I saw a fox. Surprise akin to a shotgun blast. I could only flap my lips in reply. A cup shattered into many little pieces with a loud bang. My mom let it fall from her hands. Her face was pale and her eyes were glued to the ground. This pause, just a split second, felt like an eternity. Then my mom spoke with disappointment. First it was an owl, now it's a fox. Will you ever get tired of this?
Правда, правда.
But it's true.
Такая пушистая.
She was so fluffy.
Она у забора стояла на задних лапах, совсем как человек.
She stood on her back legs near the hedge, just like a person.
Она меня позвала, а тут мама вышла, и лиса убежала.
The fox called my name, but then mom came and she fled. There was no fox. Stop making things up.
Не подходи к ней.
Don't go near her. If it was necessary, I was ready to shake my sister as if she was a doll made of cloth.
Ты чего, Тоша?
What's wrong, Tosha?
Не подходи, слышишь?
Don't go, you hear me? Mom entered the hallway and gave me a surprised look. I hesitated.
Ну, лиса ведь укусить может.
Well, a fox will bite you. I remembered fairy tales where foxes used to kidnap children. I imagined my Alisa, liberated carnivorous, running through the night forest with a dangling sack in her hands.
Это ж была не настоящая лиса.
It wasn't a real fox.
Расскажи ему, Оль.
Tell him, Olya.
Она на двух ногах ходила, а еще была в платье одета.
She stood on two legs and she wore a dress.
Только она была взаправду.
And she was real.
Видишь?
See? Mom showed us a tired smile as if it was the only explanation needed. I also forced myself to smile. My smile was like a thin piece of soap, right before it dissolves completely on your palm. But then I was left alone with my sister. I whispered,
Еще раз увидишь ее, беги.
if you ever see her again, run. Damn. Okay, why did Alisa show herself in front of Olya? What the hell's going on? Thoughts of the forest beast bombarded me like a rain of candy and toys. There was a hairy silhouette standing in front of me, towering over the treetops. Who was he? What happened in the forest? What's happening to me? I shut my eyes and threw the vitamins in my mouth. Washed them down with water. Please, stop driving me mad. Please! I barely managed to force myself to do homework, but those math problems just refused to be solved. Numbers in my notebook tumbled around and mixed in a whirling dance, sometimes running over the lines. My head became heavy from that pandemonium, and I almost dropped it into that chain of numbers. My eyelids felt like there were tiny weights tied to them, the type used in grocery stores. Oh, damn. And right at the moment I surrendered and closed my notebook, the memories of my day started flashing before my eyes. I was in the middle of the stuffy school corridor. I could see the literature classroom from here, the faces of dead classical writers on their portraits, the prim and regal pose of our homeroom teacher, Lilia Pavlovna. And around that corner was her daughter, Katya, a snitch and a gossip, eagerly waiting for me.
Эй, новенький, новенький.
Hey, transfer student. Transfer student?
Чего тебе, Кать?
What do you want, Katya? She got on her tiptoes and started swaying, while hiding her hands behind her back, and then asked me, with a fake smile on her face.
Скажи, пожалуйста, а чего это тебя к нам перевели, а?
Can I ask you something? Why did you got transferred here? I might have told the truth about this to Polina, but Katya will sell it on the market for 3 kopeikas. It would be the same as printing all my thoughts and hanging them near Vova's picture for everyone to see. So I reverted to an answer I knew by heart.
Это все из-за моих родителей.
It's all because of my
У
parents.
папы тут новая работа, а мама...
Dad has a new job here and my mom. But Katya didn't even listen to me. just rushed toward the perked up ears of her friends, whispered something while stealing glances at me and giggling.
Да-да, конечно.
Yeah, right.
Он нас тут совсем за дурачков держит.
He takes us all for fools.
Я вот слыхала, что это все из-за его отца.
I've heard it's all because of his father.
Он недавно кому-то крутому дорогу перешел, и теперь они всей своей семейкой в нашем захолустье скрываются.
He crossed the road of some big shot and now their family is hiding in our remote little village.
Неправда! Ты все врешь!
That's not true. You're lying.
А слышали, как он Бабурина просто так стукнул?
Oh, and did you hear how he hit Baburin out of the blue?
Это каким надо быть уродом, чтобы в первый же день так над одноклассником измываться?
What kind of freak must you be to start bullying your classmate from day one?
Прекрати! Ты же знаешь, он первый начал!
Stop! You know he started it!
И будто этого мало.
And if that wasn't enough,
Ходят слухи, что он спутался с ворюгами из шайки Ромки Пятифана.
there are rumors that he's hanging out with delinquents from Romkas Petifan's gang.
Ой, девочки, сумки проверяйте.
Be careful with your bags, girls.
Того и гляди, в гардеробе вещи начнут пропадать.
I wouldn't be surprised if things start disappearing from our wardrobe.
Будем знать. Это Петров с дружками постарался.
And we'll know who to blame, Petrov and his friends.
Да-да-да.
Yes, yes, yes.
Замолчи! Заткнись!
Shut up!
Вон как раскричался-то, будто ужаленный.
Look at him scream as if something bit him.
А зрачки-то, зрачки какие широкие.
His pupils, look at how wide they are.
Опять чего доброго с катушек слетит и руки распускать начнет.
I hope he won't go insane and resort to violence again.
Не зря же его мать таблетками пичкает.
I mean, there must be a reason his mom always feeds him those pills, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure the reason for that will be revealed later in the game. There must be something about it. I just stood there in confusion, trying in vain to understand how she found out about my medicine. And what scared me even more was the possibility that her nonsense had some truth mixed in.
Да-да,
Yes, that's right.
он такой же ненормальный, как и его сестрица.
He's as insane as his little sister.
Представляете, к этой сумасшедшей дурочке каждую ночь прилетает сова ростом с человека.
Can you imagine that she says a human-sized owl visits her every night?
Только что-то ее никто из здоровых людей не видел.
But not a single healthy person has seen it.
А этот наивный простак ей верит.
And the simpleton believed her.
Нет, ну вы представляете?
Can you imagine it? And then I caught a single kind look from the smirking crowd.
Это правда, Антон?
Is that true, Anton?
Неужели действительно тебе не здоровится?
Are you unwell?
Полина, послушай меня!
Polina, please listen to me.
Как же?
Yeah, right.
Не слушай этого болтуна, Полиночка.
Don't listen to this liar, Polinочка.
Ты еще не знаешь.
You don't even know
Он тебя на другую променял. Не из нашей школы.
that he cheated on you with someone not from our school.
На Алису.
With Alisa. Polina slouched as if someone kicked her in the stomach, and then burst out in tears and fell to the dirty floor, wailing and screaming. No, no!
Почему она, Антон? Почему?
Why her, Anton? Why? I couldn't understand her reaction, but I still rushed to Polina's side before getting shoved violently by Katya.
Убери от нее свои лапы, чудовище!
Get your paws off her, you monster! Rage was building up under the wail of my fear. It slowly rose from the cloud and mist. I felt my upper lip creep up, showing my teeth.
То, что твой отец бьет мать, еще не дает тебе права поднимать руку на девушку.
Okay, really here? Has this actually happened? The fact that your father beats your mother doesn't give you the right to do the same to girls. My fists became hammers. I couldn't unclench them. Nobody can speak about my family like that. I came to my senses when I already lunged at the angry Katya.
Слетел-таки! Слетел!
Aha! He went nuts! Nuts, I'm telling you!
Спасите! Помогите! Петров с катушек слетел!
Okay, he probably fell asleep. Help, help, Petrov went completely insane. At the same moment, the crowd around her became louder. It started whistling and roaring. And growing. Yeah. That is definitely a nightmare. The subtle silhouettes of my schoolmates became larger, wider. They shot upward toward the ceiling. Turned into a giant black forest, choke full of toothy faces. I shrank to a tiny ball of fur and started shaking in fear before the might of Alcaridon trunks that belonged to either trees or humans. It was impossible to tell.
Вот ты и показал свое животное нутро.
So you finally shown your animal nature.
Трус!
Coward, that face! Katya's face was twisted with jubilation and ecstasy. Okay, that's surreal. Why her? No!
Чем она лучше меня?
What makes her better than me? Polina screamed while choking on her tears.
Он!
He's just
Животное!
an animal,
Чужак!
an outsider. A scary flapping of wings came from the forest. A pair of giant white ears descended somewhere from above and I dug myself into them.
Пожалуйста!
Please,
Вставай!
wake up! Okay, that was a nightmare. I jumped up, almost falling out of bed. Apparently I was thrashing around for hours on the sweat-soaked sheets. Olya's scream pulled me out, set me free from the tentacles of fear.
Антон! Пожалуйста!
Please,
Вставай! Вставай!
wake up, wake up! It took my eyes a while to focus on the silhouette near the window. Olya's voice was distant. My head was still ringing after the fight. Sounds got distorted as if my ears were stuffed with cotton. My sister, as distressed as ever, just kept on repeating the same phrase.
Сова! Сова!
The owl, the owl,
Пожалуйста!
please,
Я боюсь!
I'm scared. Her tears poured on my heart like boiling water, but I was almost thankful for the owl's appearance. Otherwise, this scared Olya wouldn't have woken me up.
Оля, я сейчас.
Wait a second, Olya.
Хочешь, я тебе Мурзилку почитаю?
Want me to read Murzilka for you?
Подожди.
Give me... I placed my bare heels on the cold floor. Felt around for my glasses. Remembered Semyon, his underhanded act, and sighed.
Антон! Пожалуйста! Пожалуйста!
Please, please!
Посмотри!
Look! She couldn't tear her eyes off the window as if it was a staring contest. I found the light switch with my hand. The lamp poured bright light all over me. I got up. My vision fooled me, moving the window closer only to push it further the next moment. My sister was just a blurry spot. I took a hesitant step forward.
Оль, что там?
What's there?
Что-то случилось?
What happened?
Ты хочешь, чтобы я открыл шторы?
Do you want me to open the curtains?
Нет, не надо!
No, please don't.
Там же сова!
The owl is there. The voice was coming from behind. Okay, dang it. I turned around and froze from terror. Teary-eyed Olya stood in the doorway.
С кем
Who?
С кем ты разговаривал, братик?
Who were you talking to right now? She stared at me with eyes that were red from crying, with her hands wrapped around her shoulders. Her voice was nervous, as if she was afraid to hear my answer.
Я разговаривал с тобой. С тем, кто притворился тобой.
I was talking to you, to someone who pretended to be you. The ledge outside my windows creaked ominously, as if something huge was sitting on top of it. Okay, yeah, that's the owl. And the thing that pretended to be Olya started spreading, changing shape, grow to scary heights under the lights of carnivorous moon. Please. Come closer, come here. The voice didn't belong to my sister anymore. The thing that was hiding behind my curtains got tired of pretending, making me look like a fool. I pinched myself as hard as I could, hoping that the silhouette near the window was just a continuation of my nightmare, a hallucination, brought upon by the cursed house. And those don't bite, do they? The silhouette was towering before me, under the veil of mist. I heard Olya's shrill scream when someone had knocked on the window. It came to get us! Another knock, I stepped back into the middle of the room, as if there existed nooks where I could hide from this horror. The sound was sharp, metallic. The lamp started shimmering, then it suddenly lighted the hole and went out, like a candle under a strong wind. The filament inside it snapped with a ringing sound. The darkness that was waiting for that exact moment poured from all the angles and enveloped me. There was only this window left in the whole universe. Moonlight poured through it, painting everything the color of bones that were exhumed from a crypt. Olya started squealing and pressed herself into my back, seeking protection. And Dan and I, burning with a carnivorous fire, stared at us from the window. No, it wasn't trying to break the window, it was toying with us. It just kept on knocking, driving us mad. As if a giant clock was measuring the time left for us, its pendulum swinging above the abyss. She was screaming in desperation, her hands clutching my arms like a pair of pincers. She was screaming, "Get away, leave us alone," stuff like that. Come closer. I could barely make out a pair of wings that spread out above the black spot. Tell her, Anton. Tell her that I won't be a bad girl anymore. Never ever. I just wanted to live. Please. The moonlight suddenly disappeared and the room descended into darkness. We couldn't see the burning eye anymore. I swallowed the stingy lump that was stuck in my throat. I stepped over the curtains, entranced by the call of this disfigured guest. Olya was standing behind me, mumbling, "I'll be good, I'll be good, I'll be good." The bleak window was creeping closer, curtains rustled. I reached out to move them aside so I could look my fear in the eye. At that moment, I heard noise coming from our parents' bedroom. Without thinking, I pulled the curtain to the side in one swing. Nothing. Though there was something shining on the ledge among the scattered feathers. Oh, my glasses! The ones that Simon took from me. How did they get there? How did they get here? Was that a gift from the gargling night? Did that owl really bring them here? I looked at the front yard, at the foreboding clearing, at the toothy forest. Not a soul. Not a trace of our late-night guest. Only the old lamppost, dreaming like a lone watchman among the snowy desert. The dry window frame creaked. I tore away the insulating tape and the stripes of glued newspapers. Like at that time in the winter, we were using stuff like that to make sure that our houses stay warm. Opened the window with big trouble. Frost pinned me with its little needles. The paintings on my walls moved from the draft. I touched my glasses, sure they would melt in my hands. But they were real. My brain was scrambling for an explanation. Simeon and his gang just pulled a prank on me, that was it. That's it. A smooth white blanket was glittering under the street lamp, just outside our yard. If anybody was to get close to the house to climb the pipe to the ledge of my window, they would surely leave footprints. But there were none. I cautiously took my glasses. My wrist was still intact. Nobody pulled me into the darkness, full of restless breathing.
Вы почему не спите?
Why aren't you in bed? I swayed from surprise and almost fell out of the window.
Совсем сдурели?
Are you out of your mind?
Жарко, что ли?
Did it feel hot in here?
Не болели давно?
Do you want to catch a cold?
Там сова была! Тоша ее прогнал!
The owl was here. Tosha cheated away.
А ну-ка марш спать к себе в комнату!
Go to your room immediately and get in your bed.
А с тобой?
And you... Mom paused, directing her seething eyes at me. She was thinking of a punishment equivalent to my crime. In the end, she just waved her hand, took Kolya by the shoulder, and left, throwing gloomy words my way.
Завтра поговорим.
We'll talk tomorrow. What is going on? I managed to get the frame back in place with a couple of hits. Pressed it in the latches with all the strength my fingers could master. The cold left the room, but the fear was still present. I placed my glasses on my nose and started studying my reflection in the window. It didn't look like a face, more like a death mask. Just like the one worn by the boy from the notice board. That night, I was on the edge of joining him there. Holy damn. A black and white face was staring at me through the clearing between student heads. And it wasn't Vova. His face was right beside it. I recognized the fat cheeks, the damaged skin. Okay, so Simeon also disappeared. And that explains why Anton got his glasses back. Okay, I wonder if it's actually alive or like what is. Okay, we'll figure that out, I guess, in the next part of the game. But damn, things are happening in this game, Simeon. Baburin's photo was printed out and placed under the glass like an exhibition piece. Holy damn. Okay, I was not expecting this. Okay, I guess that's it? Yeah, okay. That's the end of the episode 2. Well, at least like the Alisa's route. Okay, a lot of things happened. So I guess we actually met the owl as well and the forest master. And now Baburin disappeared. Okay, damn. Okay. I definitely want to continue the game when the next episode will be available. That is interesting. Well, yeah, I will continue Palino's route later. Hope you enjoyed that. Take care and see you soon.